Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I have been testing some new makeup products and in this video I'm gonna share my thoughts with you. Before I'm gonna get started, I've purchased some new Dior products. These products came available a couple of days ago here in Europe, and I have picked up the darker eyeshadow palette and the maximizer and the blush. The eyeshadow palette with the Lucky Glover embossing was not yet available, so I couldn't pick up that one. In my next video I'm gonna talk about this collection. I was also wondering, are you interested in a review about the new Chanel summer products? Chanel released these products also a couple of days ago, and I'm a bit on the fence. So yeah, I'm a bit undecided whether, I should purchase these products or not. So please let me know if you are interested in any of these products, if you're interested in a review about this collection. Yeah, please let me know in the comment section. In this video I'm gonna talk about, what do I have? I have the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow sticks, the Natasha Denona Tan palette, the new Marc Jacobs makeup collection. I have Tom Ford, I have the Gucci Flora limited edition makeup collection, and I'm gonna start off with the new NARS blushes. And here we have the new NARS blushes. These are called the Insatiable blushes, a liquid blush. I am very picky when it comes to liquid blushes. So the fact that I can highly recommend this formula means a lot. I am very picky because most liquid blushes just don't work that well on my skin type. I have combination oily skin, and even my cheeks tend to get a bit oily throughout the day, and that means they kind of disappear throughout the day, or they really fade. The color really fades throughout the day. And with some formulas I feel like they are very patchy on my skin type. So again, I'm very picky when it comes to liquid blushes, but this formula I highly recommend it. This is my new favorite liquid blush formula. This formula stays put all day long. That's the first pro. I really like that this is very long lasting. And second, it's not patchy. It applies without much effort. And also what I really like is that you can very easily build up the intensity of these shades. I've picked up 2 shades, but I'm gonna add more shades to my collection. I am absolutely sure, because I really like this formula. Now I've picked up the shade Orgasm Lust, and this is a warmer pink. And I also have, what is this called? This one is called Double Dare, and this is a beige shade. It has a hint of peach to it, but it definitely is more of a beige shade, also a warm beige. These both have a glowy finish. The beige one is more satin-like. The pink one has a little bit more of a glow. It has more of a shine to it, but it's not shimmery or glittery or anything like that. They both have a beautiful glow, and I also really like how these work on top of my foundation. These blushes do not disturb the foundation. The foundation stays put. They really blend well into the skin. I do not see any patchiness. There are no flakes or anything like that. This is an excellent formula, and again, I have 2 shades now, but I will buy more shades. Up next are the eyeshadow sticks from Charlotte Tilbury. I've picked up 4 sticks, 2 duos. I've picked up Mink, and Mink is a matte shade, and Oyster, this is a cool toned duo. And I've also picked up Amber Haze and Desert Sculpt, and these are warmer in tone, and these are officially called the Exagger-Eyes Easy Eyeshadow Sticks, and Charlotte Tilbury claims that these are mistake proof. On the website it says that this is a Dream Glide formula, self-priming, waterproof, crease proof and fade proof. Now, of course, I had to test all of that, and it's partially true. Is this a Dream Glide formula? Yes, it is. Absolutely. These glide like a dream. I can agree on that. But you have to work fast because these dry down pretty quickly. So if you are going to apply these, then please don't get distracted. Apply them, work fast, do what you have to do, because once these are set, they are not gonna go anywhere. They are not moving, they just stay there where you apply them. Self-priming, I don't know. I have to use an eyeshadow primer before applying eyeshadow. I have pretty oily lids, they are 40 plus, so I need to use an eyeshadow primer first. I haven't tried them without a primer. It's just not an option. Waterproof, I don't know. I didn't go swimming, so I haven't been able to test that. Fade proof, because that's another claim. Yes. These, like I said in the beginning, these stay put, you know, they dry down pretty fast and they stay put. I didn't see much fading of the color throughout the day. Another claim was crease proof. Yes and no. I did notice a little bit of creasing, but that really was, you know, after a long day of work. Like after, let's say, 12 hours of wear. So yeah, I would call that crease proof. It's not that these started creasing after an hour or 2 hours. No. So formula wise, pretty good. Yes, pretty good. But I do have a little bit of an issue with the price, because these retail for, I think it was 30 or 35 euros, $35. Something like that. When you want to do a good eye look, you need 3 shades. You need 1 mid-tone shade to create a base, and then you need a darker and a lighter shade to create some dimension to your look. Now these are being sold or being recommended to purchase as a duo, but I really feel the need to use an extra shade when I use only 2, because I want something lighter in my inner corner. You can do a good look with a duo with 2 shades. That's of course possible. But for me, I need a 3rd shade. I really want something dark, something mid-tone, something light. Then I have my desired look. So I'm gonna need 3 sticks actually to create a good look. So that means that I have to spend like 90, 95, 100 euros, US dollars to create a good eye look. And I think that's just too much money. And also the shades aren't that special. I mean, I see browns, I see taupey shades, some lighter neutrals. Not something that we haven't already seen. So Yeah, I mean, again, the formula is okay. I don't think I would pay full price for these. And there's more eyeshadow. I have the tan palette from Natasha Denona, and I must admit that I really enjoy this palette. This is a brown, warm brown color story. There are a couple of cooler tones in here, but overall it has more of a warm vibe. I like neutral eyeshadow. So this is a color story that's right up my alley. I have to say that in the past with previous palettes from the Natasha Denona, I always had issues with some of the mattes. And you know, in other palettes, some of the mattes just were a little bit patchy, or you know, in my opinion, when I applied them, they just applied very patchy. Some of them were not very smooth, not very soft. Some of the mattes were extremely hard to blend, and I also got hard pan really fast. So, you know, in the past I wasn't always that impressed by Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I think she reformulated some of her eyeshadows. I feel like the mattes are softer now. I feel like they apply much easier, and I also experience less fallout with the glittery shades or the sparkly shades. So I think she really improved her formula. This is of course not a very new or innovative color story. I think you and I both have these shades in our collection. We've seen these 1,000 times now. So not very new, not very innovative. Now, not every color story needs to be new or innovative, definitely not. These are shades that I will wear a lot. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this tan palette, but I do hope that the brand will become a little bit more creative with future palettes, with future color stories. So I'm not so much impressed by the color story itself, but the formula has improved. I am very, very happy with that. So I hope she stays on this path, on this road with her formula. Do I recommend this palette? Yes, the formula is much better than I expected. I really enjoy using these shades, but please check your drawer, check what you already have. Don't buy this for the sake of buying it or because you have FOMO or anything like that. If you want to make a purchase, you can always use my code FEDARO on the official Natasha Denona website to save some money. That code is only active on the .com website, not on the EU website. So yeah, sorry for my European customers. It's only active for the .com website. And up next is the new Marc Jacobs makeup collection. My package was being held at customs for about 11 or 12 days or so. So I was very worried that there was something wrong. But fortunately, 2 days ago, I received my package. So I haven't had time or enough time to really test out these products. I'm gonna give you a first impression because I've tried the products once now, which means I can't do like a full review about these products. This is just a first impression, and I'm going to show you some products I would recommend based on this first impression. And there are also a couple of products that I'm not too sure about, and I think maybe one I wouldn't recommend, but let's just start with the first one. I'm gonna start off with the bronzer, because that is a product I highly recommend. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful formula. I have it in shade number 20, which is a good shade match for me. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. So this is a pretty good shade for me. I really enjoy this formula. It blends, it applies and blends pretty much without effort. Doesn't look dry, doesn't look cakey. It really gives you that healthy glow you want from a bronzer. So based on this first impression, is this a formula that I would recommend? Yes, because it looks good on the skin and it just does what a bronzer needs to do. This has a 24-month shelf life. It's made in Italy, and this is 11 grams of product. The packaging is stunning, of course. I love this little daisy flower right here. And talking about that packaging, maybe I should have started with that. In general, I think this packaging, this collection is very playful. I think it's fun, but I do kind of miss the sophistication that the previous Marc Jacobs makeup collection had. So I think that Marc Jacobs tries to speak to a younger audience with this packaging. I expected maybe a little bit more of a classic packaging. Now I do appreciate that Marc Jacobs did something completely different than most designer or high-end brands do. So that's something I definitely appreciate. Now, for example, this packaging from this bronzer, this is very sturdy. This is really a good sturdy packaging. It has a nice mirror so you can see what you're doing. But for example, the blush, this is kind of that cheap plastic. You know what I mean? Let me show you the lipstick as well. This is also that kind of cheap plastic. You know what I mean? This feels very cheap to me. I'm sorry, Marc Jacobs. While this feels more sturdy, and this is definitely what I expected. I didn't expect the like cheapy kind of packaging from the brand. So yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer, you know. I expected more from this and less from this. But hey, who am I? Now, well, yeah, now that we're talking about the blush and the lipstick, let's talk about them some more. I haven't tried the blush yet on my cheeks, so I don't know if this is a good formula. I haven't tested it, so I can't say anything about that. So I'm gonna try this, of course, in the coming days, and I'm gonna share my thoughts about this blush on my Instagram. So make sure to have a look at my Instagram page if you want to know more about how I feel about this blush. Now the lipstick, I did try this one. I have the shade Booty Call 103, and my biggest concern or my biggest issue with this lipstick, well, the shade is very pretty. This is like a neutral beige shade, but what worries me most is this. I'm not sure you can see this, but This is not very sturdy. Can you see that? I'm not sure, but this is moving here. It's not very sturdy, and I'm not sure, are these refillable? Is it moving because this is refillable? I don't know. I don't think I can get this out. I'm just a little bit disappointed by the quality of this lipstick, how this is manufactured. The shade again, it was Booty Call. The shade is very pretty. The formula isn't that special. I think it's a average formula. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's somewhere in between. Maybe I expected something more from this lipstick because it's Marc Jacobs. It's not disappointing, but I'm also not wowed by this formula. It's okay. I've also picked up one of the eyeliners. This is a duochrome shade and it's called So Tea. This shade is absolutely stunning, but I also really like the formula. This is almost the same as with the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow sticks. This is also a Dream Glide formula, absolutely. But I also really like how this stays put all day long. You apply this, you give it like 30 seconds, it dries down completely and it doesn't move, it doesn't go anywhere, it stays put all day long. So this eyeliner, and probably also all the other eyeliners in this range, I hope they all have the same kind of formula. This is a product I highly recommend. I've also picked up the mascara from this collection, and the mascara comes in this beautiful lavender star-shaped case. I've picked it up in the black shade, not very exciting, it's just a black. Now, I don't think that this is a bad mascara, but I don't think it's the best I've ever tried. This part is flexible, which can be very convenient to some of you, but it's not my favorite type of wand. Also, it's pretty big and I just simply can't reach every lash. You know, when it's so big, it's harder to get a good grip on my lashes. Based on this one use, I don't think that this is the star of the Marc Jacobs show. Now I think that the eyeshadows might be the star of the show, well, at least this shade, because I am truly in love with this color. This is, I love this. I have the shade Clap Back number 210. And this is a extremely pretty duochrome. It shifts from pink to bronze, and I really like this. Not only because of the beautiful duochrome shade, but also because of the formula. I apply this with my fingertip and then I blend it out a bit, and that's it. That's all I do, and it stays put all day long. Of course, I always use an eye primer, always do that, but it looks so pretty on the eyes. Of course, this shade is not for everyone. Maybe you don't like duochromes. That's okay, then just pick up one of the mattes or the metallics. I don't care, but if you love duochromes, then this is definitely a shade you should check out. There's also one other duochrome shade, if I'm not mistaken, like a blue to green, like a peacock shade, or blue to purple, I don't know exactly, but something like that, which is very pretty too, but it's a shade that I don't think I will use a lot. I must admit that I hoped for eyeshadow palettes and not single eyeshadows. I'm very okay with this one, but I don't think I will pick up more of these eyeshadows. So yeah, maybe in the future we'll see eyeshadow palettes again. Not sure, of course. But this is an eyeshadow I really recommend. And here we have the Gucci Flora Makeup Collection limited edition for summer 2026. And this collection contains one eyeshadow palette and a few lipsticks. I believe there are 3 lipsticks. Well, there are 3 lipsticks listed on the website, but when I look at the shades, I only see 2 shades. So I think that maybe something went wrong, either with listing these lipsticks or with manufacturing that pink shade. That's the shade that is not available. So not sure what happened there. So far there are 2 lipstick shades available. I've picked up shade Eliza Ginger, and that's a beautiful warm brown color. I think this is very pretty. It's also the shade I'm wearing on my lips today. And this shade is not new. This is already available in the matte and satin formula, if I'm not mistaken. But within this formula, and this is the Glow and Care formula, it wasn't available. So now we have it in that formula too. Now these types of balm-like lipsticks usually have that high shine finish, but I think with this one it's even more extreme. It's almost mirror-like. I do not have many lipsticks with a finish like this, so I'm happy with this one. I'm happy that I've picked it up. And of course it comes in the beautiful limited edition design with the beautiful flowers, very summery. And same goes for the eyeshadow palette, also in this beautiful floral design. Now this eyeshadow palette has 10 shades, and this is the Color Story, a soft, romantic, summer, floral color story. And the palette is called Sunset Orchid. It has a 24-month shelf life. It's made in Italy, and you'll get 14 grams of product. The palette retails for 75 euros, so that also will be around 75 US dollar, and I think that's a very fair price for this palette. You'll get 10 amazing shades. Really, I am very impressed by the high quality of this palette. I've never tried Gucci eyeshadows before, so I really didn't know what to expect, but for some reason I thought that these would lack pigment or that their color payoff would not be very good, but that was a wrong assumption, because these are really good shades. The mattes are silky soft and smooth, and they apply effortlessly. You really do not need a lot of time to create a good look with these shades. You do not have to put a lot of effort into it. You naturally know what to do with these shades, which shades to combine. And honestly, this is a color story I think many of you will suit. There are some warmer tones, a couple of cool tones, and of course the 2 greens here, and this one right here, that mint shade, that's definitely my favorite shade. Of course, I'm also wearing this palette on my eyes, maybe you already noticed. This shade is so pretty, beautiful pearlescent green. This is such a pretty shade. I really like this. And again, the mattes are so silky soft and so easy to blend. I'm really impressed by this, and I didn't know that Gucci made such good eyeshadows. So yeah, pleasantly surprised with this palette and very happy that I picked it up. And the last product I'm going to talk about in this video is this eyeshadow palette from Tom Ford. This is the Moonlight Dip eyeshadow palette, a perfect color story for summer. Now I think you've heard that Tom Ford has reformulated their eyeshadows. Now I don't really notice a big difference with the old wet dry formula. This new formula is just as smooth and soft as the previous one, so I'm not sure what they reformulated exactly. I should check the ingredients list, you know, to figure that out. But in terms of pigmentation and color payoff, etc., I don't really notice a difference. So if you love the previous wet dry formula from Tom Ford, then I'm pretty sure you're gonna love this new formula as well. This is just one of the best eyeshadow formulas out there, and I truly mean that, especially this wet dry formula. These shades just blend themselves, basically. I think this is one of the most easy to use eyeshadow formulas ever. You have 4 shades to work with, so you don't really have to think too much about what you're gonna do or what kind of look you're gonna create. The shades just speak for themselves. And even like eyeshadow beginners or eyeshadow newbies can work with this eyeshadow palette, with this formula. And maybe you have Nude Dip in your collection. That is my all-time favorite from Tom Ford. So I am very sad that this is discontinued now. Some of you might think that Moonlight Dip is a replacement for Nude Dip, maybe because of the name. But I don't think that this really replaces Nude Dip, because this is a different color story. As you can see here in the comparison swatch, Nude Dip is much cooler in tone compared to Moonlight Dip. Moonlight Dip has this gold shade and this dark, warmer type of brown, and Nude Dip doesn't have these shades at all. So if you want to give this Moonlight Dip a try, definitely make that purchase, because this is a very good palette and I'm sure you're not gonna regret your purchase. So my friends, that's it for today. I hope this video was helpful. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, in my next video I'm gonna discuss some of the new Dior products. I hope to see you then. Bye bye.